Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do the community stream recap, which just happened a little bit ago. It happened probably, ended a half hour ago, something like that, but I was driving home from work, kind of listened to it there, kind of caught up. So now I'm home, and we're going to kind of talk about what was in there, and there was one nice little surprise in there at the end, which I'm personally very happy for, and I think most people are very happy for it as well, right? So first slide here, we're starting off with some quality of life improvements. Basically, they're doing a revamp of Mog's Gym, and this will actually reset Mog's Gym so every player can do it. So I do recommend that veteran players go back and clear this to get more rewards. The other thing is if you are someone who has not completed this currently, you do want to complete it and use up any rewards and tokens from that now, because those will all go away. So make sure you clear out the current Mog's Gym and then go ahead and get ready for some new Mog's Gym rewards, which is always nice, right? The next thing is there is a good quality of life adjustment, and that is they realize very quickly that when people go into that refine tab, they like to just click and refine everything, all their books, all their ingots, whatever. Well, since they added the high power stones in there, people have made the mistake of clicking all and putting 800 power stones in and turning them all into high power stones, which in the end, I mean, it's not the worst thing, but then you don't have regular power stones for your LDs, right? So because people have had that mistake happen quite a bit, they're basically saying that the max now will only do 4. So it'll max out just to make 4 high power stones, and it won't go beyond that. So you're limited as to how much you can put in per max that you type in there, which is pretty good, right? It's just going to save players the mistake of putting in the regular power stones, right? Next, we have a new, basically, tier for our summons coming out. So this is exciting, right? So we've got World of Illusion Spiritus. This is going to bring summons up to level 50. And our first summon is going to be Brothers, I believe. And what's nice about this, as you can see in the middle, we get the same rewards basically as we would from a divine board. So this is going to be good for somebody like me. I've been kind of dicey, kind of low on my resources. So this is going to be nice. I'm going to get 40k gems, 400 tickets. And then also they're adding in 40, force stone fragments or whatever for force enhancing, right? Which is really good. So you're gonna get 40 of those. So that's basically the equivalent of 2 force stones. So that's awesome to get that, right? And then you're gonna get mission clear rewards to get more tickets there as well, which is very, very good. So basically you earn mission points through clearing chaos quests with characters who meet specified conditions. So it's a little bit different than divine boards. There will be featured characters as well that will make it boosted. So you want to look out for that as well. And then there are quest missions that can give you additional rewards for using different character types. So it's got a little bit more to it than just doing a divine board where you're just walking in with maybe a featured group. There might be more requirements and things that they want you to look at in terms of weapon type, crystal color, things like that. So it just adds another element to it to make it a little bit more fun, right? But either way, this should be something that's fairly easy for most players to grind out unless you're super brand new, right? All right, so next let's get to our characters. And there wasn't really unexpected here in terms of characters. So yep, we're starting off September 28th. Tifa, one of the highlights of the month, is going to be dropping. She's absolutely insane. I'm definitely going for the BT. I'm going to max her out. BTFR all the way for her. There's the World of Illusion Spiritus Brothers, as you can see right there. Their level cap will be raised to 50. There's going to be a co-op with it. And we are starting the Autumn Festival. So as a part of this Autumn Festival, and it's going to actually go into a Halloween festival, we are getting some free multi-draws, which is really, really good. Leo and Selphie are going to get force levels, and then Tifa's getting the rework, and then Bart's, 8, and Jack are all getting reworks and C90s. Now, secretly, Selphie is actually one of the big highlights here, because Selphie is already really good now. She already has her C90s, but Selphie getting force enhancements is absolutely insane, because now she's actually going to be a force charger. So she's a great friend unit because you can come in, spam a bunch of free turns while increasing your force gauge, and then ending with her LD to basically make the enemies launchable for, in most cases, the rest of the fight, because it's like a 8-turn debuff or something ridiculous, and the enemies can just be launched. So this is going to make doing cam a lot easier. Just launching in general will give you more damage no matter what team comp you're doing. Selphie low-key is one of the highlights here. Now, if you don't have Tifa or Selphie, this is actually a really great banner to summon on, because if you can get Tifa and Selphie, you're going to have some really good powerhouse characters there. Tifa's just an offensive juggernaut, and then Selphie's just one of the best supports in the game, especially after getting her force enhancements, Normally a character just getting force enhancements isn't that exciting, but with Selphie it's really exciting because she is really based on instant free turn moves that will charge the force gauge. So very exciting there for Selphie. Definitely going to be rocking her. I might actually switch her to my friend unit once we get that update. Then we have a lost chapter for Lude. For those of you unfamiliar with Lude, he's basically like, he was like at the very start of C90s, and he was a character to basically show off EXs, because EXs are way better after C90s. And Lude's whole shtick is that he like can instantly refill your party's EX gauge. So he's really good in team comps with like characters that have ridiculously good EX moves that are maybe slow charging, and he can kind of like just keep refilling them, which is kind of fun, right? Tifa BT will be there as well. And then we've got reworks for in C90s for Mediterranean. Zell's getting his force enhancements, and then Lude is getting a rework in force levels as well, and Lude's getting the FR, right? Alright, then we have a raid event. And the raid event is going to have an FR for Ferris. Obviously, you see costume there. What's pretty exciting about this one is that Garnet is getting her force enhancements. So Garnet is already like C90 and everything, but Garnet getting force enhancements will bring Garnet, Garnet's still very usable now, but it's going to make her more relevant because now she's going to help upkeep the gauge. Because that was her one weakness right now, is that she doesn't help charge the gauge very well. But now with her force enhancement, she's going to be able to do that better. So Garnet now back with the force, which is very, very good. Free multi-draws here, and then Tifa BT. The one thing I did want to comment on really quick was Bartz. I didn't really touch on Bartz. So I talked about him in my BT guide. Bartz, like, has been a pretty good, like, actually a very good support Aura bot character. Bartz doesn't get, like, a ton here. Not enough to compete with other things. Bartz isn't bad by any means. He's still really good. But the problem is Bartz is competing with, like, Luna Freya, Selphie, Charlotta, and now even Garnet coming back and, like, being accessible to people. I feel like all those supports are still better than Bartz. So that's the unfortunate thing. But I do still really like Bartz. I think he's a fun character. I like that he has that very unique Wind Aura, Enchant, and Peril setup that he's got. So my Bartz is already maxed out, so I'm just going to have him and enjoy him. I don't recommend people, like, go crazy and summon in for Bartz here. What you want to do here is you want to summon in on the Tifa FRBT banner, which should hopefully have Selphie on it, and then grab Selphie and Tifa. If Selphie's only on the Bartz banner, then that might be iffy if you want to go for Selphie or not, but Selphie's ridiculous too. The thing is I think the friends list is really going to flood up with Selphies, so you should, like, most people should get access to Selphie either way, right? And she works just fine as a friend unit. Then we have DE tier 11. Now, this shouldn't be nearly as bad as DE10, because DE10 essentially was introducing Shinryu before we had Force Time, which made it really, really hard, right? Now with all the Force Time weapons we have, I think DE11 is going to be a lot more manageable. Not to mention we're going to get our second Behemoth powerhouse character, which is Renoa. Now, Tifa is like a single target Behemoth, like just ridiculous damage. Renoa now has more AoE, and she's magic damage. I kind of refer to Renoa, it's like an AoE magic damage version of Machina, because she has the same thing where she really relies on an HP plus from her BT effect, and then she's basically spamming out ultimas. So I also plan to max out Renoa because she seems fun and absolutely ridiculous, right? We got some limited time gem and weapon gloss bundles, so it looks like they've got like little angel characters there. We've got the DE tier 11. We've got a token challenge. Shantoto coming back with a BT. Not a character I recommend most people invest in unless Shantoto's a favorite of yours. Force enhancements for Realm and Vivi, so they're just getting their force enhancements, which is pretty good. And then reworks in level 90s and force enhancements for Edward, Renoa, Shantato, and Deuce. So a lot of characters. They're just throwing out the C90s, which is pretty fun. October 17th, intersecting wheels for Aerith. I think Aerith is going to be a fun character. Aerith, I think I might go for her FR. I really like Aerith, and as a support character, I'm a proponent that you can never have too many support characters. I feel like damage dealers are a dime a dozen, but it's always worth it to have like a really good roster of supports that you can fill into those teams with your damage dealers or tanks or whatever you're doing. Aerith is getting her Final Fantasy VII Remake costume, which is really, really cool. Renoa's BT will be featured there as well. So for me, a couple of things would have to happen. So for example, my plan is the token Tifa's BT if I don't pull it going for the FR. So provided I did use my tokens there and I don't have tokens, Renoa, if I don't get her BT on her initial banner, I might wait for the Aerith banner to really pull hard, because I know I want Aerith, and Aerith is going to be fun, right? Alphanod's getting force levels there, and then Aerith and Kurosami are getting C90s also. So Pretty cool there. Then we have a Heretic event coming up to the end of the month, and they actually dip into November, so they actually went pretty deep on this community stream here. I know November, December is going to be really hyped, so they'll have a lot of stuff to talk about there. So on this Heretic event, this is going to bring Balthier back with his FR. Balthier's nothing crazy, like he's decent, he's okay, he's a fun character. He kind of has like a stacking aura buff. He just gets some more damage improvements and things here. His FR could be fun if you really like him. He is getting his fun Tactics costume because he was in one of the... There was a Final Fantasy 12, I think it was called Revenant Wings. It was like a DS Tactics game. So that's his outfit from there. I actually like that outfit. It looks really nice. We're getting the Golden Cactuar gun back if you want that weapon skin. Rem's getting force enhancements. I'm excited for that. I'm a big Rem fan. And Rem does have like instant turn stuff. So Rem could be actually a very nice force enhanced character. Like a nice sneaky character that is very good. I love Rem. And then Balthier once again getting the rework there. Then we have the Halloween campaign. So October 26th to November 9th. We are getting more weapon glosses, so it's like the pumpkin lollipop thing. We already had that, but then we're getting the new one, which is like the pumpkin ghost and the bats, and that's going to be a unique weapon. So I think it's going to be where like the bats and stuff will be like floating around the character. I think it might actually look kind of cool. So that could be an interesting one. I haven't bought a weapon skin yet. That's one I could be tempted on. I kind of wish that I could use that with Vivi. I think with Vivi's costume, that could look pretty dope. But the lollipop could look good with Vivi too, because I believe the lollipop is a staff. So yeah, that could work good. Because if you guys haven't seen, Vivi's alternate costume that he got when he got his Global First is actually like really awesome looking. It's very Halloween-esque. So we get 2 free first multi-draws here. New Halloween badges. Double Cycle Quest rewards. We're going to get Carbuncle's treasures back. Triple effect support item sale. So if you want to buy triple books, you can do that here. Nothing else too crazy. And then this is the big reveal here. So during this Halloween campaign, we are getting a new crevasse. And then there will be a limited time co-op. There is a new question mark FR here. This is either Arden or Minwoo. Based on the timeline, I actually think this could be Arden. Because Arden was set to be on like a special campaign banner. And they maybe just slot him in here. But it could be Minwoo, because Minwoo I think is supposed to be like the first FR in November. And this technically is October 26th to November 9th. So it's close enough to November that I think it could be Minwoo. But I actually think this is going to be Arden. I think this is going to be Arden FR here. Josh did say on the stream that it is not a global first, so don't get that in your mind already. But probably Arden or Minwoo, but I'm going to lean Arden here. And then crevasse. So for people that don't know crevasse is a lot of fun. So if you've ever done like these... it's like an Abyss style, where in Abyss you'll go into missions and they'll say you need to use these weapon types and these crystal colors, and it's just kind of fun because it gives you extra restrictions and it like makes you think about and use your box more. Well, what crevasse is, it's kind of like you get to program your own restrictions. So you can go in and say, okay, on this mission I have to use this many sword users, this many crystal colors, and then based on the combos you pick, you get more points, but you're limited to use combos like only one time, right? So I think the ones that are more restrictive are worth more points. So for example, a restriction that says 3 green characters will give you more points than having a double green character restriction, or there's a single green character, right? So what would happen is let's say I want to do a run, and let's say I have 3 ridiculously good green, let's say staff users. I could use a restriction that says I have to use 3 staffs, and I have to use 3 greens, and that's typically going to give you like the highest points possible. Now what'll happen is you can use them and do the fight and you'll get all the points, but then those restrictions get locked out. So now I can't use the triple green again, and I can't use the triple staff. So on another one, if I want to use more staff, I could use maybe a double staff, or I could use a single staff, and I could do different combination of crystal colors. So there's a lot of strategy here in that it's looking at what your personal roster looks like, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, but then also trying to program the best codes in to give you the most points. There is a way to get like max points, and some people that like the challenge can like really go crazy and try to get like the max points, but you don't have to get the max points to get all the rewards. There will be a point requirement to get the max. We can just, I'm just throwing this off the top of my head. I probably am remembering wrong, but I want to say the last crevasse was like, if you got 300 points, you got all the rewards. And then the players that figured out like the max points got like 488 or something. It was actually quite a bit higher. So there is wiggle room. You don't have to be perfect. You're not going to be locked into very specific characters and teams, but it is going to be a set of fights that you have to program in, and it's just so much fun because you can you can have some fun not just doing the fight, but also kind of programming and setting up the fight. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the community stream. Very hyped. We've got 2 insanely hyped BTFRs coming in Tifa and Renoa. A lot of hype there. A lot of resources coming our way with the fall campaign. Very excited to get the new summon upgrades, to get all the rewards there as well. Free multi-draws. There's a lot to like here. Curvasa's super hype. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.